If crowded rooms don't just exhaust you, but make you feel exposed. If you've ever stood in a group of laughing people and felt completely overwhelmed instead of included. If you've left a party early and then spent the night wondering, what's wrong with me? This is for you. Would you rather fight a bear or walk into a packed concert? If you chose the bear, this is for you. You're at a family dinner, 20 people talking at the same time. Your cousin asks why you're so quiet. Your aunt tells you to be more outgoing. Somewhere between the third, you're too sensitive, and the fourth, just relax. Your brain has already mapped the quickest escape to the bathroom. Not because something is wrong with you, but because in 10 minutes you've processed more emotional information than most people do in an hour. And what your brain is doing behind the scenes is more intense than you realize. You're not alone in this. Your need for peace isn't a flaw, it's protection. Today, let's unpack what's actually happening inside your head. And by the end, you won't feel guilty for leaving early ever again. Stay with me. This goes deeper than you expect. Here's the difference. When most people enter a crowded room, they just hear noise. Your brain does something else entirely. It tracks micro-expressions, side conversations, the flicker of overhead lights, the slight shift in someone's voice when they say, "I'm fine," but clearly aren't. This isn't just a personality trait, it has a name. Psychologist Elaine Aron calls it sensory processing sensitivity, or SPS. And here's the fascinating part. Brain imaging shows that people high in SPS have increased activity in regions tied to awareness, empathy, and deep processing. Imagine it this way. Most brains operate in standard definition. They capture the general outline. Yours runs in ultra-high definition. Every detail, every emotion, every subtle change in the room. You pick up all of it. So your brain isn't failing at parties, it's working overtime. And this isn't rare. Around 18% of people share this trait, nearly 1 in 5. You're not too sensitive. You're wired to notice what others overlook. But it's not just about processing more. It's about filtering differently. You know that coworker who smiles at everyone, yet something feels off? Most people won't sense it for months. You catch it in the first 5 minutes. That's not paranoia. It's perceptual sensitivity. Your internal authenticity radar. Think of a party like this. Everyone is wearing a mask. Most people see the masks and think, great vibe, everyone's happy. You see through them. You notice who's acting cheerful, who's barely holding it together, who says, "I'm amazing," while their eyes say something else entirely. Your brain has been doing this your entire life. Here's the shift that changes everything. You don't dislike people, you dislike performance. You don't avoid crowds because you're antisocial. You avoid them because your brain is tuned to detect inauthenticity, and crowded rooms are full of it. You're not antisocial, you're selectively social. There's a huge difference. Now let's talk chemistry. Most people are driven by dopamine, the more is better chemical. Loud music, big groups, constant stimulation. Dopamine says, more, louder, bigger. Your brain runs on something else. It leans toward acetylcholine, the depth over breadth chemical. Acetylcholine activates during meaningful conversations, when you read something that moves you, or when you sit in quiet comfort with someone you trust. Think of it like this. Dopamine is fireworks, bright, loud, thrilling for a moment. Acetylcholine is different. It's a fireplace, steady, warm, something you can sit beside for hours. So when someone asks why you'd rather stay home than go to a concert, you're not missing out. Your brain is wired to enjoy quieter, deeper experiences. That isn't a flaw, it's design. There's one more piece that explains a lot. You know how when someone yawns, you yawn? Or when someone cries, you feel tightness in your throat, even if you don't know why? That's your mirror neuron system. In people who dislike crowded places, that system runs at full volume. It's like your brain has an emotional Wi-Fi router. In a one-on-one conversation, you connect to one signal: clear, stable, manageable. Walk into a room with 50 people, and suddenly your router is trying to process 50 emotional signals at once. Of course you feel drained. Your brain is running dozens of emotional tabs simultaneously. Think about the last party you left early. Your brain had already done the calculation. Now here's where we need to be honest. Everything so far is science. It's validation. But there's a part of this no one talks about. Not everyone who avoids crowds is acting from strength. Sometimes what looks like preference is avoidance in disguise. For some of you, this began long before you could explain it. Someone once said, "I grew up in a house where the TV was always loud, guests showed up unannounced, and my bedroom was the only place that felt safe. I didn't understand my need for silence until I realized I was creating the peace I never had." Research supports this. In 1997, psychologist Elaine Aron found that highly sensitive children raised in chaotic homes often develop stronger withdrawal patterns as adults. That isn't weakness, it's a survival response that became part of you. Your brain learned early that the world is loud, so you built your sanctuary. But here's the real question. There's a difference between choosing solitude and hiding in it. There was a time I told myself I was protecting my peace. In truth, I was afraid of being judged again. The line between healthy solitude and avoidance comes down to one question. Are you moving toward yourself or away from everyone else? Researchers at the University at Buffalo found that when solitude is intentional, it increases creativity and well-being. But when it's used to escape, it can do the opposite. So ask yourself, does my alone time restore me, or am I just retreating from the world? If you truly choose it, if your peace comes from fullness rather than fear, then here's your permission. You don't owe anyone your energy. You don't owe anyone constant presence. A quiet life isn't a small life, it's a conscious one. The next time you leave a party early or choose a calm evening over a loud one, remember this. You're not broken. You're wired to notice more. That was never a defect. You're not antisocial. You're selectively present. Your quiet life was never the issue. It was the solution. You just didn't have the science to explain it until now. If this felt less like a video and more like a conversation you needed, leave a like. And if someone in your life needs to hear this, share it with them. What feels like a crowded room to you? Tell me in the comments. Protect your energy. It's worth more than you realize.